Well, it's the last week of November in 2020. The year is about to end, thankfully. But the problem is, in 2020, well, there were a lot of problems in 2020, but the problem we are talking about today is the bandwagon of Android smartphones that we saw in India or abroad or anywhere in the world had very similar designs, be it the best of flagships or be of mid-range smartphones. All of them looked very similar from companies like Samsung, OnePlus and lot other. In fact, most of the smartphone makers made similar smartphones. You know, when you're wanting new form factors, you're wanting new design, it really attracts you. Obviously, Apple changed the design language quite a bit with its 12 series of smartphones, and we were expecting something spectacular on the Android front too. Well, LG has launched a new iteration of the dual display smartphone. Yes, the LG G8X was a great successful device, and I think it was the best seller of the Big Billion Days and the highlight of the Big Billion Day sale on Flipkart. And now LG has improved a bit on fronts that needed improvement, getting more cameras, better specs, a lot of better things on the LG Velvet. So what we're waiting for? Let's dig in, unbox the smartphone, and let's start talking about the LG Velvet smartphone. So now that we have unboxed the smartphone, you can look at it. It's so beautiful, especially the raindrop design camera module is beautiful. You know, everybody was just giving you a square or rectangular cameras. LG went out of the way and designed it in a raindrop scheme. And I especially love this Aurora silver color, and I love it because it gives you so many color effects. And as you can see right now also, it's like giving you that rainbow effect, which I really love. Obviously, it's a fingerprint magnet because it is something that is very glossy. But on the other hand, you get such a beautiful phone, you don't mind that, honestly. Thanks to its 3D arc design, the phone is really good for single hand usage. You know, you can use it with the single hand, and obviously the dual display, when you attach it, becomes a dual display device. But when you're using standalone, it is very well suited for a single hand usage also because of the tall boy design it has. If you look at the dimensions of this phone, it's under 8mm. It's a 7.9mm slim phone, which is really great to hold. And also the weight is 180 grams, which is under 200 grams. Usually the flagship devices are around 200 grams or 190 grams. This one is 180 grams, and those 10 grams really make a difference when you're using it in longer usage. And even with that slim display, it has the best of specs, best of battery, and even US military standard testing, and IP68 water and dust resistance, and headphone jack, and SD card also that you can expand up to 2 TB. So I can go on and on about the features that this phone has, because LG has always given you more for less. You know, it doesn't get away with the features. While you've seen flagships have let go of the 3.5mm jack, will you see, or the micro SD card, LG sticks to it and still continues to give you all those essential features that you would require in a smartphone. Now that we have spoken about the design of this smartphone, which is mesmerizing, let's move on to the display, which is even better. It comes with a 6.8 inches POLED display, which has a screen to body ratio of 88.6%, which is a massive screen to body ratio. And this immersive POLED curved display also has an in-glass fingerprint scanner under the skin. That is really great. It comes with a 1080p into 2460 pixel resolution, which is great, and also the colors are very rich, and the display has been vivid. You can tweak it a lot thanks to the LG's display options, where you can keep it warm, neutral or richer. But the best part is, we'll talk about the dual display now, which is exactly the same this time. You have the same POLED display, so you don't feel any changes in the display like you felt in the LG G8X, where you felt there was a slight of difference when you put in the second screen. With the LG Velvet, the screen is exactly the same, you experience the same, and even the notch is there, so you feel that you're using the same phone on both sides, which is a great thing. Now there's so many things that you can do with the dual screen that it's endless. You can do better gaming, you can do better browsing, you can do work better. They're like reading the book right now and at the same time, tweeting about it, or you can watch YouTube videos while working on something. You can take notes while scribbling. You can click photos and see them real time. You can also use the dual screen as a viewfinder, which comes in really handy when you're trying to capture better photos, or you're getting that angle that you were really hard to get otherwise. Since this is an iteration of the dual view display that we saw on the G8X, you can see all the features and all the things that the dual view display can do in our G8X video. If you haven't seen it yet, the link is in the description below, and we'll also give you a pop-up above which you can click and watch our G8X video. Another display that I'll talk about is the 2.1 inches display on the outer cover. Now this time LG has improved on the cover. What we saw in the last G8X, it was a very metallic surface and it was something like a mirror that you could use for selfies. It was much of a fingerprint magnet and got scratched easily. So LG has really worked on that also and given you a better casing this time, which has a 2.1 inches display, but it's really protected by all the edges on the side. You don't have to worry about finger smudges and scratches. The 2.1 inches display comes in really handy when you have to answer calls, you have to have quick look at the notification without opening the smartphone. Now LG is known for giving you quality sound. You know, the smartphone experience doesn't have to be a limited sound experience. It has the best of sound experience. We've been used to getting a quad DAC in LG smartphones. Even though they have removed the quad DAC in this smartphone, they've given you options like a 3D immersive audio, which you can activate by just a click of a button, and that really enhances the sound. Apart from that, you get a lot of equalizer options which really enhance the sound suiting to your needs. Now this time around, LG has also included an active pen input. If you have an active stylus, then you can easily use it with the LG Velvet smartphone for taking personalized notes and scribbling. Now let's talk about what's under the hood of the LG Velvet. We've seen the exterior, we've seen the display, we've seen the design. What's under the hood? What's powering the smartphone? Well, it's powered by the Snapdragon 845 processor, which is an 800 series processor. Now you would feel it's a few generations older, but nevertheless it's still 800 series processor, and on day-to-day usage you would not feel any difference. With the generation getting better, the speed increases and you feel there is a difference, but even on an 845 you would not feel that the phone is lagging, or it's not able to play games, or it's not able to do any intensive tasks. You will be able to do them on any other smartphone because it's an 800 series processor. Let's not forget that. And paired with a 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of ROM, obviously it has all the power that it would need. So the international version of the LG Velvet gets a 765G processor, which is a 700 series processor. Again, not bad, but again 800 series is always better than the 700 series. So if you're thinking that why did India didn't get 765G, I think it makes total sense because India doesn't have 5G yet. So what's the point of giving a processor that has 5G capabilities? Instead, giving you a more powerful processor like an 845 processor makes total sense to me, and I think LG has done it really right in India. Talking about the battery, it comes with a 4300 mAh of battery with fast charging support, so you can charge your phone around 1 hour 20 minutes. I think full charge 0 to 100 when we tried our charging test. And also it gets wireless charging, a 9-watt fast wireless charging, so you can just place it on a charging mat and it starts charging automatically. Now talking about the physical appearance of the smartphone, as you can see at the back you would get the camera module, which is in a raindrop, and also there is a flash module right under it, making it like a 4 raindrop sequence. On the top you get the SIM tray and a secondary microphone for noise cancellation. On the right is the power button, on the left is the volume rocker and the Google Assistant button, which comes in really handy, not just because you can launch the Google Assistant, but also when the flip is down you can click that button to answer calls and do a lot more. On the bottom you get the USB Type-C port for charging and data communication, also a headphone jack, the much wanted headphone jack in a flagship device, and also a speaker grill and a microphone for your talking. Now that we've looked at almost all the aspects of this smartphone, let's have a look at the camera setup of the LG Velvet. The water drop camera setup comes with a 48 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, and a 5 megapixel depth sensor camera. The 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor comes with a f2.2 aperture, and the 5 megapixel depth sensor comes with an f2.4 aperture. In terms of the selfie camera, you get a 16 megapixel front camera that is capable of shooting 1080p videos. In terms of the camera modes, you get all the regular modes like time lapse, slow-mo, photo, video, portrait, but on top of that you get features like ASMR recording, which basically means that you can catch minutest of sound on the LG Velvet camera, like clearing of the plastic, or throwing a pin and hearing the pin sound. That is not possible on other smartphones, but the LG Velvet can do capture that sound. But another feature that I really loved on the LG Velvet as a content creator is the audio bokeh feature. Now you must have heard of video bokeh feature, which blurs the background. This one blurs the audio. That means if I'm doing a selfie video and I click on myself, the audio that is not coming from my mouth will be blurred. That's the ambient sounds, traffic sound, or any other sound that is coming other than what I have pointed out will be bokeh. That means it will be blurred out. It was a great feature that I really enjoyed using, and I think content creators and vloggers would really definitely love this feature. I think this phone was designed for content creator because there's another feature that is YouTube live feature direct from the camera, where you can just click on that button and do a live video directly on your YouTube channel. That makes a lot of sense for content creators and YouTubers because you can just click on the YouTube live button directly from the phone's camera and start doing your videos. Now that we've talked about the camera specs and features, let's have a look at some camera samples, both the videos and pictures we shot on the LG Velvet. In terms of software, you get Android 10 out of the box with the LG UX 9 on top of it. Now, LG had to put a UX on top of it because it gives you a dual screen experience that is not possible on a stock Android experience. So that's the reason LG has put an overlay on the Android 10 experience. Now, thanks to the LG UX 9, you get a great dual view experience. That means you can do a lot more with the dual screens. You can play games in full screen mode with the gamepad. You can use your secondary display as a viewfinder, and at the same time, when you click a shot, the preview shot comes on the second screen, which makes it really handy. And for all the tough angles that you're not able to achieve because of the single phone, you can use the dual view display to get that best shot possible, thanks to all the tilt angles that you can do with the LG Velvet smartphone. In our last video also of the G8X, we recommended LG to do a lot more optimization to the dual view so that it can give you more to do with the dual view. And I think LG is really working on it, because since the time we've been using this smartphone, we've already received 3 updates for the dual view display. That means LG is trying to enhance, add more apps, add more software, games, and enhance the experience of the dual display, making it a more productive phone and also a fun phone to be with. So I think we've talked in detail about the LG Velvet smartphone. I think personally that it ticks all the boxes, be it the processor, build quality, cameras, design, screen. In terms of clicking all the tick boxes, it does that, and on top of that, it gives you an FM radio on a flagship, it gives you US military standard on a flagship, it gives you expandable memory, it gives you a 3.5mm jack. So I think other than clicking all the boxes, it gives you more than what other flagship would be able to offer you, and all that at a price of 35,000 rupees is exemplary. I think it's really competitive pricing, and you can also add a dual view display and still be paying 50,000 rupees, not more than that. So for 50,000 rupees, you can get a foldable like experience, a dual view smartphone, a smartphone that can do all. I think it's a great deal. What do you think about the smartphone? What could have LG done better, or they've done it the best way possible? So do let us know in the comment section below, or tweet to us at @theunbiasedblog or Nikhil Chawla. Thanks for watching The Unbiased Blog.